This is not protest. It is organised, violent thuggery. And it has no place on our streets or online.
Violent unrest led by far-right groups has erupted across multiple cities and towns in the United Kingdom. Mosques, shops, hotels and residential areas have been damaged throughout the country. The targets of the attacks? Immigrants and minority groups, particularly Muslims. Riots began after a deadly stabbing attack on July 29 in Southport, a town in northwestern England. 3 girls succumbed to their injuries and 10 others were wounded. Far-right groups quickly spread disinformation about the stabbings, claiming the attacker was an undocumented Muslim immigrant. However, it was later revealed that the perpetrator was Excel Muganwa Rudakubana, a British citizen of Rwandan heritage with Christian parents and not a Muslim. By the time the truth emerged, far-right influencers and neo-Nazi groups had already mobilized their followers online, spewing racist and anti-Muslim hatred. Hundreds of people converged on Southport, attacking a mosque, setting vehicles on fire, and injuring scores of police officers. The violence spread to other towns and cities in England and Northern Ireland, causing extensive damage to public property. Since October 2023, the UK has been a centre of global protests calling for an end to Israel's military onslaught on Palestine's Gaza. But the former government's hawkish pro-Israel stance and British media's skewed anti-Palestinian coverage of Tel Aviv's brutal offensive has emboldened the far right, with the group attacking mosques, assaulting pro-Palestine protesters and spreading disinformation online. According to surveys, anti-Muslim incidents have increased by 600% in the UK since Israel launched its genocidal war on Gaza in October 2023. When far-right Twitter accounts, such as Europe Invasion, shared racist and anti-Muslim AI-generated images after the Southport stabbing, they went viral. One of the primary instigators of the riots is Tommy Robinson, a notorious far-right figure and founder of the English Defence League, a white nationalist movement with a history of rioting and a virulent anti-Muslim and anti-immigration stance. Robinson posted a video on X the day after the stabbing, urging his followers to hit the streets. To date, his post has been viewed over 1.5 million times.
This is going to become commonplace.
With a massive online presence, his calls for his followers to mobilise were supported by other far-right groups, such as Patriotic Alternative and the banned terrorist organisation National Action. Enough is enough. The slogan, widely used during the rioting, has been championed by the Patriotic Alternative, which was present in Southport, while Matthew Hankinson of the National Action broadcast the violence live, dubbing the rioters peaceful protesters concerned about the murder of white children.
I think it's clear to see the relationship between misinformation in the wake of the Southport attack and the violent protests and riots that we've seen spreading across the country. We saw very quickly a false name of the attacker circulating and being used to justify attacks against Muslims and migrants.
As the riots continue, communities across the UK have come together to condemn the actions of the far right.
I think the violence is abhorrent. Nothing justifies this kind of violence against innocent people.
Police have begun arresting perpetrators and increasing security in neighbourhoods affected by the riots. Meanwhile, the violence is posing an early and major challenge for UK leader Keir Starmer, who was elected only a month ago. Starmer has warned far-right protesters they will regret participating in England's worst rioting in 13 years.